Welcome to Network and Chill on the Couch. We're going to be hosting a series of talks with investors, entrepreneurs and startups who'll be giving us a little bit of advice, some tips and an insight into their personal journey. Today on the Network and Chill Couch, we are joined by Grace, who is the founder of a corporate wellbeing company called WorkSpa, and she founded WorkSpa 2 years ago. Give us a little bit more information on what the company is.
So WorkSpa is a corporate wellbeing company. So we go into organisations across the UK, such as Fujitsu, HSBC and the White Company, and we provide a range of different holistic services such as acupressure, chair massage, mindfulness and yoga to support employees' mental and physical wellbeing while they're at work.
So before you started this company, what were you doing prior to that?
So prior to that, I was massaging. So I had a company where I'd go to employees' houses and offer full body treatments. And then due to a difficult situation, I stopped working and had to figure out a new source of income to pay my bills. So I fell back on my massage diploma and joined lots of different agencies. And I had an opportunity to go into workplaces. And this is when I realised that there was
There's a gap.
Exactly. And that there's such a need for employees in the working environments to have kind of environments that make them feel safe and comfortable in order for them to kind of be more productive at work.
And your clients that you have gone into, because you've mentioned really big companies, have they said, wow, you know, this has actually transformed our employees' mental state, or what impacts does?
It's made a huge difference. So for example, with Fujitsu, we do regular audits and surveys to find out how the service is being received and what the benefits are, and we've had a lot of feedback on employees being more aware of how they're sitting, so how they're posturally sat at their desk. They're more, just giving employees a moment's respite from the working day. So our massage treatments, for example, we use wireless headphones and play relaxing jazz music, which helps aid the mindfulness process. So that gives employees a moment to kind of rest, and so then they've got more energy, they're much more productive when they go back to their desks. So we've had great feedback on the service.
And starting your own company, I mean, I think for a lot of people it's just becoming a company owner or not working 9 to 5 can be quite scary. So what gave you the motivation to set out on your own?
I think that especially when, for me it was going through a really difficult time in my life, and I realised that, I had to kind of take control of my life, and I had a huge desire and passion for holistic services because they really helped me in difficult times. And it was just really, I was kind of fed up of being fed up really, and so that drove me to kind of create something that was mine, and that no one could kind of tell me kind of how to live my life, and it was my way of taking my power back, I think.
And do you think you have more flexibility now being a company owner, or is it much more challenging? What's your day-to-day like? I
mean, there's definitely challenges because it can be quite isolating when you're, running your own company, and there's of course a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility. However, it's very liberating, not having anyone telling you what to do and being able to make all the decisions. So.
And how did you, on a funding aspect, did you get investment or did you finance it yourself?
Yeah, so it's all been financed myself from the back of me kind of working. As initially when I was working as a therapist, all the money that I made I just put back into the company.
Oh wow, that's nice. And where do you see the company in 5 years?
So in 5 years' time, the plan is for it to be recognised nationally as a wellbeing service that really makes a difference to corporations. Also, with some of the experiences that I had growing up, we want to create a charity where we support young women that have gone through really difficult and challenging times, and supporting them in becoming independent in their own work, and also teaching them different holistic kind of services and massage.
So what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs?
Just to not give up, really. You know, you are going to face challenges, but it's the kind of making the mistakes that kind of help you to kind of refine who you are as an individual and to refine your business. And it's all about belief. You know, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So it's really important to practice that self-belief and that self-love.
And who inspires you?
Well, I'm in love with Oprah. She's like my idol. I
Yeah.
love Oprah. So Oprah, you know, people, and Louise Hay. So I believe in the power of affirmations. And, you know, every day when I wake up, I say things like, I love you, Grace, I really do. And I accept you as you are. And I think, you know, believing in yourself is so important. And for me, these women have been through some real difficult trials and tribulations. And they have turned it around. And so that for me is key. You know, whatever we go through in life, we all face challenges, but it's about what we do and how hard we fall. We're all going to have points where we fall down, but it's about how we get back up, you know.
And so looking back at the clients you have, because they are like, you know, very big, well-known brands, how did you get your company out there? Did you outreach to them? Did you just show up? Because when you see some entrepreneurs and explain their stories, they're like, no, I went to the door, you know, what's your story?
Well, I've been really fortunate. So I'm an ambassador for the Prince's Trust. So the Prince's Trust initially helped me set WorkSpa up. And so I have a mentor that I see on a regular basis. But as a ambassador, I speak at different events, so large corporate events, to help raise more money for the Prince's Trust. And so I've been using those opportunities, which are incredible, you know, networking opportunities, and I've been using those and networking when I'm there. So I've met CEOs of HSBC and TK Maxx, and then it's perseverance, and you know, and then you build those relationships.
So you believe networking
is key. Yeah, key. Exactly. It is so important, really, and it's all about surrounding yourself with people
people.
Exactly, who you either aspire to be, or, like you said, the right people in order to get where you need to get.
And any challenges on this journey?
Challenges, I think, you know, it's when it's something that you've created yourself, it's very hard to kind of give the reins up to other people, and so that's something that I've found very hard. I wear all the hats in the business, you know, and so now I'm in the process where I have people that are now starting to do some of the admin and some of the sales, whereas before I was doing everything myself. The massage.
So now letting go is a bit like
it's definitely difficult, but again, you know, it's so important to understand what your strengths are and finding people that have got abilities and things that you don't have in order to help the business grow.
And do you think everyone can be an entrepreneur?
You know, I think anything's possible, so yes, but it's all about, as I keep saying, it is about belief, you know, and I think if you can find that through mentorship, or like you said, if you go to network events and there's somebody there that inspires you, take the time to speak to them and find out how they have succeeded in their journey, you know.
If you could go back to when you first started, what's one thing you would do differently?
I think being more confident to ask for help. You know, I'm quite an independent person, so I've always just got on with it. And although I think making mistakes is important, but had I asked for help a lot earlier on, I think that might have helped guide me in the right directions a little bit earlier on in the business.
And I want to touch on the Prince's Trust.
Sure.
What is the Prince's Trust? Do they provide funding?
Mm-hmm.
What elements within the Prince's Trust could be useful for someone starting their own business or just started?
Yeah, so the Prince's Trust is an amazing charity, and they have lots of different resources to support young people that are coming up either in business or young people that are struggling in education, so it really depends. I went through the Enterprise Programme. So the Enterprise Programme is helping people start up in business. So you basically go on a year's course where they'll talk to you about the different elements of business, how to run a business. And then after you've completed your business plan, you sit on a panel and they then look and see if your business is viable. And if it is, you can ask for mentorship or funding. But I asked for mentorship because I believe that wisdom is worth more than gold.
So this is important for people who might not have funding because everyone that we've spoken to, at least in majority of the discussions, have funded it themselves. Right. But I don't think that's going to be the case of everyone. Sure. So it's good to know that the Prince's Trust is available and they've got a really strong programme that does help. So you joined us at our last Network and Chill event. Thank you.
It's okay.
And provided your massage services to our guests. Did people know about WorkSpa? Did you get people saying, oh, this is really interesting, or, you know, how was the uptake?
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, I was there working myself with another therapist, and we were like back-to-back massaging. So I think it's a wonderful thing to bring to events because it creates a buzz. It also kind of makes your attendees feel like they're being valued and looked after. So it's a real wonderful way to kind of create a good energy in an event. So it went really well.
Do you think people, because I personally didn't know that you could get services go to corporate companies, do you think people are aware of your service, or you think you are working on your marketing so people are becoming more aware?
Yeah, I think people are becoming more aware. I also think that there's been a huge shift in organisations today in how they find ways to support their employees, and companies are becoming much more open-minded about holistic services, because there are statistics and evidence that shows us that sitting on a chair for 15 minutes can reduce stress by as much as 48%. So we know that holistic services work, and we're definitely in an era where people are starting to become more open-minded about how they support mental and physical well-being.
Because I think for entrepreneurs, especially when they're starting out, and even successful entrepreneurs, their time is valuable.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
How important do you think it is for them to take half an hour to just relax? And
yeah, I mean, it's key. So for example, my routine in the morning before I start my day is that I'll get up, and before I look at my phone or before I check my emails is I'll do 10 minutes mindfulness meditation. And so it's extremely important because it enables me to quiet my mind before I kind of face the day. And that's the same practice that we kind of promote when we go into companies, that in order for us to have a healthy mind, we have to learn to quiet the kind of back talk and chatter that we have going on all the time, really. So
and just take a minute to center yourself.
Exactly. And then you're more open to kind of what the universe or what the world is able to offer you when you are coming from a place of calm and clarity.
It's been a very interesting discussion with Grace today on our Network and Chill couch. If you do want to find out more information about WorkSpa, contact her on
WorkSpa.co.uk.
And if you want to hear any other journeys from entrepreneurs, do subscribe now.